Welcome back, everyone. This is Akinar here with more Taiji, where I think the next section that I want to check out is this part right here in the middle, the snaky, mazy dance floors, which is, of course, the official name that we have coined here for this section of the map. I just need to figure out how to get up there. I need to remember we also at some point need to open up this shortcut. We will get back to resuming those other optional panels at some point, but I want to try to get onto the next major section here. We have another bonfire to light. So let's see if we can figure this one out. I was completely stumped the first time that I was here. I really had no idea what to do. Will that have changed? I don't even know that we can start, I don't think we can interact with this side of the, oh, wait a second. Oh, we can. Okay, I take that back. We can actually interact with this panel. However, we can't really go very far because there is a little pillar that's blocking our way here. So, well, it feels like we want to have that open in order to actually fully deal with this section. Let's look over here at this side. We did actually go here in the very first episode, didn't we? We were actually playing around with this board, and it also didn't really make too much sense at the time. However, I think when I was editing my footage from that episode, I had this idea that it looked like we were meant to do some sort of a yin-yang arrangement here, because it looks like that's what we've got. There are at least sections of this that are arranged in a mirrored pattern, like we can see here in the middle. The light and the dark spiral away from each other in the usual symmetrical, somewhat symmetrical Taiji fashion, yin-yang. The question is, though, that obviously there's parts of the wall that are deteriorated, and it feels like we need to fill in the missing portions. So, for instance, if we go over to this side, this portion here, where the wall deteriorates, it actually does continue on the other side that's in the light. We just need to figure out exactly where things line up, because it feels like this is where we want to start on this side. Maybe. Where exactly, like we could also start, if we're supposed to mirror this little curly Q, if we want to mirror that path on this side, where would we start exactly? Let's try to be precise about this, I guess. Ultimately, where are we? Where are we? Do we actually on this side? Is the point on this side to... Oh, I think the point over here might be to do this. I might not be exactly at the right spot, but I feel like they're wanting us to, like, go all the way around like this. It does give us feedback to whether or not we're correct. So that's nice. Do I need to do that? So we do, I think, want this to connect here. I think this might be correct. Starting... we might have a little leeway as to where exactly we start. But I think this, based on what we see here, this needs to connect. We need to have this wall built out like this. And it feels like it needs to go all the way around because it's just deteriorated here. But it really should be intact. And so we just go all the way around the board. And this is where maybe we just count to make sure we're at the right spot. So from the corner, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is where I ended up before. And then, oh, but did I go too many? Or did I not go enough squares? Is this where there actually needs... Oh, does it need to connect like this? No. Okay, so there's still something, there's still a little bit of something that I am not quite connecting. Do I have this flipped? Like, these are supposed to be... Is that it? There's some detail here that I'm not quite getting. If I leave that side of the board and I go over here, it only checks this. The left-hand side and the right-hand side seem to be independent of each other. So checking the solution, it feels like there's two solutions. Maybe we ignore the left-hand side for the moment and just try to solve the right-hand side. Like, my count could be a little bit off. I might not be making the correct number of squares here. Trying to line things up. If we... How many squares are there? In the center, if we count this center area as these tiles that aren't, like when I step on them, there's no reaction, nothing happens. It looks like those are... I guess maybe they're technically 6 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and then from there, the interactable squares go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I wonder if I'm miscounting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on. 5. There are 11 squares here. There are 11 squares here. Somehow I think there's an offset that I'm not accounting for. Something that I am just barely missing. Let me go ahead and reset this side of the board. Can we solve the right-hand side? Can we solve the right-hand side? Here's another potential clue, I guess. Another potential clue might be the fact that maybe I've been miscounting the midpoint. Because if I count where the white line ends up here, where I'm standing, and then I compare that to this little black line here at the bottom that comes in from the right, these do end at the same column, and maybe that's like the midpoint. Maybe that really is the mirror point, isn't it? That's where that's where the symmetry, the line of symmetry is. I think that's maybe what I was screwing up. So that needs to be our line of symmetry, which means from there I would have So let's see if we can get this count correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 is where this part juts out. Okay. So from here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is where things were jutting out before. Now, did I jut out too far? I don't think so, because I think it was supposed to go 3 out. Oh, but it does need to connect here, right? It does need to connect here. But I thought I did that. I thought I did that. The problem is I might have gone too many squares out from here. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It feels like... I feel like this is the way that it should go. Unless I am somehow supposed to account for these gaps here. Do these gaps... Is there something more going on with those gaps than I'm giving credit for? Does it need to fully connect here? Or do I need to like completely start filling in other portions? Does the entire board need to be filled in somehow? I don't think that that's what the board wants me to do. But then again, this doesn't seem to work. So now I'm not sure if I'm on the right track or not. Now I am doubting my entire approach to this situation. I guess we could try to start from here on this side of the board. So from the line of symmetry, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. This, I think, is the start. It also just looks like it's in the center. So then it goes down 3. And then it goes over 4. And then it feels like it goes all the way up like this. And then it goes all the way over like this. And then it goes all the way down like this. Except not. What am I missing here? What am I missing here? Oh! I think that's what I'm missing. What I'm missing is I am filling these squares. But that's not what we want on this side of the board. I need to fill in the squares that are the floor. Does that make sense? On this side, the wall needs to be dark, not light. I'm not supposed to fill in the wall. I'm supposed to fill in everything that's not the wall. That's gotta be it. No? Yes? No? Maybe? The slight flaw with that logic... The slight flaw is, how do I... There's a potential flaw here, because how do I fill in these squares down here? The other flaw in the logic is I think I was filling in... I was filling in the light on this side, wasn't I? I was filling in the light squares over here, and yet it didn't work. There's something fundamentally that I'm not quite getting about this section yet. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Does this puzzle let me... Does this let me walk around and start a new section? Or does it reset the puzzle? It does. So I can't like fill in these squares here and then leave the board and then go over here. Like it completely undoes my work, right? If I start from over here. Am I overthinking this? Do I not need to have this little part filled in down here? It feels like I do. I mean, if my, like, here's the thing. I don't know what to think at this point because my little, I thought it was an epiphany of, on this side, I need to fill in the floor because it's light, but that doesn't hold on the other side. I don't know. Maybe we do fill in the wall on this side and we fill in the floor on the other side. But even in that case, if they do solve independently, I didn't get a solution over here. Sure what to think. Where would I start? If I were actually doing this as a maze, where would I? Like, it could be that this is not supposed to be. Well, no, according to this section of the wall here, this is connected. So it feels like this down here, these two squares should be connected to each other. What the hell? I'm feeling kind of stumped. And I don't think we can, we have to... Well, maybe we could do something over here, but the problem is I don't know how to get behind... Unless I figure out how to solve this. Do I figure out... Maybe... I mean, is this my tutorial panel over here? Should I have been focusing on this to begin with? Because if that is the case, this one does feel a lot simpler. Because I'm just supposed to fill in the last section of wall, right? I finish the pattern here. This finishes my little snaky pattern on the floor if I lock it in like this. Okay. Hey, we've got a solve. We're almost 20 minutes into the episode and we actually solved the puzzle. It's amazing. I should have known that maybe one of these would be like a tutorial section. Okay, now can we figure out if we follow the pattern here, just continue the pattern on that we did before. We have a section here like this. But this time, we're also filling in this part, right? Oh, except I did not. I should have started here. Okay, and I think maybe the clue that I'm supposed to be picking up here is that the wall, the degraded wall that ramps slightly down, is maybe cluing me into this is my starting square. So start here. And then, do I actually go up? How many squares do I actually... It feels like I'm supposed to go up here. Nope. Dang it. I forgot how this works. Reset. If I step back a square, I need to like recenter it by doing spacebar. I think I need to go up this many. Yes. Yes. Okay. Hey, we're at least doing some things. Okay, now, how do we, I mean, we need to mirror what we did down here, don't we? Eventually, there's going to be something a little bit different. I feel like this snow that's on the ground, this section over here to the left, is supposed to be telling us, okay, now fill in the floor. But we're not there yet. I think we're still at the point where we're filling in the wall. And it looks like I need to, it's been, the wall, one row of the wall has been broken off here. So I need to fill it in. And I need to go out that many. I'm not sure though, because there is going to be a slight issue. Okay, I think I did this in the wrong order. I think I actually want to start here. Because if I start here, that lets me build this guy like this. And then I can come all the way around and build in this. Right? Okay, stuff is starting to line up. I'm not completely a crazy person. Completely being the operative word there. Now I think we fill in the floor. And the way we do that is by going like this. No. The way we do that is... Oh, wait, did I not just do this? Or am I going too far down? I might be going too far down? Am I only supposed to go here? Because this one is actually... This middle wall is actually 2 squares wide. So I was supposed to go here. Is that what I was supposed to deduce? Let's go. Okay. So we completed that side. And that does line up the way that I thought it was going to. Is there anything over... Okay. That seems to be it. So now, let's see if we can crystallize that thought process over here. Let's see if that all actually makes sense the way that it should. On this side, okay, so on this side we are drawing the floor, but that does still give us a little bit of a wrinkle here. Or at least it feels like a wrinkle. Let's see. Let's just start here and see what happens. It feels like we kind of have to do this. And then we kind of have to do this. And then... So now I'm at... Should we count squares to be sure here? Oh, no, I did not. Oh, crap. Okay. Okay. This is tricky because I'm screwing up the symmetry in my mind. Should we mark? Is this where we should mark squares? We should probably be marking squares, shouldn't we, guys? That would maybe be helpful to fill in. Yeah, marking is probably OP on this puzzle. Because what that lets us do... I mean, I feel like this should be marked. I feel like that should be connected there. And then... I would hope we don't have to mark the complete outer boundary, but... That goes up to here, which means this needs to be marked there. Do we have to worry about these squares at all? Did we ignore these squares? I would love it if that were true. If we do ignore those squares, and let's say we were on the other side and we were coming out like this, we would be here. Maybe I was right. So we go here, and that puts us here. Okay. Then we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay, we are there. And then we go another 10. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That all checks out so far. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's all. That's all adding up the way that it should. So then we would want to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over 2. And then down 3. Okay, and then like this. The question is, do we have to fill in? We might need to fill in the entire floor so that we go like this. Is that true? Because that's a 3. This is a 3 wide bit of squares here that needs to be accounted for. Can I do that? I don't know why am I getting... So now I should be right here. Correct? Now I'm right there, because now I'm actually under this thing. Okay, I think this is working so far. Dang, what am I missing? Feels so gosh darn close. The line of symmetry we said is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This corner seems to match up with this space. And then this snaky part, this curlicue, seems to be correct. But then I'm somehow screwing up the end, right? This part is the part that I haven't figured out yet. There's some wrinkle here. How is my logic wrong? This wall here, this corner. Oh, okay. That's where I was going wrong, isn't it? Is that I was thinking that this needs to connect to this somehow. That doesn't necessarily need to be the case. That's what I was screwing up. Well, then why does this not work? Why does that not work? Because... Wait, what? Why does that not work? Huh? What? Confusion. Why don't we leave that the way it is? Unless this is where I need to solve both sides, but that's not what we've done so far. So far, I've been able to, like, in the part that was over on the right-hand side, those first initial tutorial mazes. I was able to solve each little section of floor independently of the others. They didn't have to be solved together cumulatively. Is this one just a different story? Let's say we're filling in the wall on this side. If we were filling in the wall on this side, I think what I was trying to do before is this. Okay, I guess maybe they're wanting us to fill in this portion here is clearly broken off. There is supposed to be more to this wall that extends in this direction. How far does it extend? That could be... that's the thing where I hate guessing. I don't love guessing, and I just don't know that I see a part of the board that clues me in to exactly how many more squares this extends. So we almost have to play a guessing game. It's not the worst guessing game to play, but I don't know. The way I would guess and maybe brute force this would be to start here and just go one square at a time. Well, it has to be at least this, right? I feel like if I keep going, I'm going to eventually find the point at which it actually locks in. Oh, no. No, it makes total sense, actually. It doesn't just extend down to here. It goes all the way up to here, doesn't it? That's the Taiji solution. The Taiji solution says blow. That's what they wanted. Oh my god. Okay. Admittedly, this this section here has felt, I wouldn't say frustrating per se, but it's a part of my brain. It's always fascinating to see what different puzzles people are better acclimated or suited for. And I think this is a set that doesn't necessarily come straightforwardly to me because it does involve a bit of lateral thinking. You've got to think a little bit outside of the box. It's not quite the same as deducing, you know, XOR logic gates, which is right up my alley. Give me that deductive, very logical, straightforward. For me, at least, it feels that type of thinking. It feels more straightforward. I think we want to reset this now that we know what we're doing. Question mark? Let's just reset it because I think now we get it. I think it all makes sense now because we go like this. Or do we start? Where's our starting point here? If we start here, we can go from one to the other. We should be able to loop from one to the other. I just need to make sure we count the squares off correctly. So I think I want to go like here. And then I go over by 6. Was it up 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's actually 7. So up 7. No, yeah, that does make sense. Up 7 and then over 6. And then up 5. Over 2. Down 3. Over 2. I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there, folks. It took me a minute. It makes so much sense now. The Plateaus area has been completed. Apparently, I don't know what's wrong with that. That feels like the Steam achievement there is a little bugged out because the snaky, mazy dance floors area, it was clearly the name that was supposed to pop up there. I guess we'll go with Plateaus Bonfire. It does feel good once again to get another fire lit, another area completed. I had a feeling, given, I mean, just looking at the area, it was very, very small, and so it felt like it shouldn't take too long. But then I was getting kind of worried because my brain took a moment to wrap itself around the Plateaus, but it looks so pretty now. It looks so Taiji now that it is actually set into place. So with that, obviously we still have some more time here to solve some puzzles. Great to get another area under our belt. Why don't we use that time? We'll take a quick look here at, we're very close to getting that 9th and final symbol. Next time we will take a stab at the art gallery, I think, and see if we can, in fact, get that last symbol lit up there. But why don't we circle back and try to wrap up some of the puzzles that we were stuck on last time. We also have, there was a puzzle in the ruins that we had been stuck on before. Maybe we will, if we have some time, we can revisit that. Let's see. Let's see if we can get some optional puzzles here. Right, we'll see if we can get unstuck on this one. So what was the, I seem to remember that it felt like the puzzle was forcing us, because of the way that this yellow line being next to the 4 purples. I think I said this before, but this is really forcing us to have either this one filled in and this one empty, or the other way around, right? It has to be either this or that, which does limit the way that this block, or we're already limited by the contiguous space that the yellow lines are going to take up, that they're going to share. We're already limited by the fact that this one is positioned at the lower boundary. So it kind of, you know, there's only like a limited number of shapes that it could potentially be. We know that we can't fill this one in. We can at least say that much, because it has to be opposite. It has to be the opposite of this. This one has a little more wiggle room in that we could put it like this, or we could put it like this. And I'm just not sure yet which one makes sense. If this one is, if this is filled in, then it seems most likely that this would be filled in, because it doesn't have to be. Like, what if we did, let's see if we can rule out the case where this is not filled in, the flower. Because if it's not filled in, that means that this corresponds to the purple petal, and then everything else around it would be not filled in. Okay? So these flowers would also not be filled in. If this is empty, and this is empty, this, we would have to do this, I think. We would have to do that. And then, if that is the case, then what does that say for the one with 2 yellows and 2 purples? The one with 2 yellows and 2 purples does have a 4 purple next to it. If we're stepping in sequence, let's see here. This has to be similar to whenever there's a 4 purple flower next to something, it has to be the opposite of that thing. So let's say for the moment that we did, well, hold on though. We already said that this one is empty, right? We said this is empty because of the 3 yellow flower below it. So if that's the case, that means that this has to be filled, correct? And now these, okay, so that would be, so you'd have 2 purples and two purple filled for this. This is, I feel like this is so, the terminology that I'm using feels so cumbersome. I wish it felt like there was a better way to explain all this. But hopefully I'm making some modicum of sense for those who are following closely. I think these flowers are all happy here. Now, the last one here, we could make happy by doing this, I think. Okay. So, have we solved it? Dang it. No, I did not make it happy because that one actually has to stay empty, which means, aha, have we found our logical contradiction? In order to make this one happy, this has to stay empty. Which means then that would be the square that corresponds to the yellow petal, the single yellow petal on this top flower, meaning these would have to be filled in, but then all of a sudden now you've contradicted yourself because this has to be surrounded by 4 empty petals. So I think this whole train of logic that extended from us assuming that this is how this started, right? It started by me assuming that this square, this 3 yellow petaled flower was empty, meaning that this would be the purple filled and then the 3 empties here. So I think what that means is, if we back up all the rest of our logic here, back up everything else, we don't know if this is filled in yet or not, but I don't know if it matters. But I think we've just determined that this has to be filled. It did seem more likely that it would be filled. Definitely felt more likely, but we did rule out. It's good that we, I think, ruled out. Hopefully my logic was sound there, and we've ruled out the fact that this purple petal is going to be an empty somewhere. Does it make sense that, let's see. So what would make sense to have the empty? The empty. Which one is going to be the empty square is the question. We need 2 additional filled in petals to go with the 3, to make 3 yellow total. Where do I want to put those? Where do I want to put those? If I do this, if I do that, I don't think that works. I think I have to do this. Or no, I actually have to do this, don't I? I think I have to do this because of this 4 purple here. This 4 purple has to be empty so that the petals around it are filled. And the only way to make that work is if I put the 3 petals for this 3 yellow on this side. So that maybe just forces the rest of the board. Does it? Let's see here. This one could now... Wait a second. Does this work? Dang it. No, but I keep forgetting this one here. So I could fill in like this. Oh, but I have made a contiguous... See, okay. That's where I have to now... The contiguous space for the yellow is out here. That's what is screwing things up. But can I fix it? I'm definitely not... I'm not getting that Taiji flow on this panel. Which kind of makes me think that I'm still missing something important. I can't fill this one in. Could I put this down here? Could I do that? I can't do that, though, because then that connects the 2 yellow spaces. How am I going to handle... How am I going to do this? I feel still like my logic is running up against some wall here, and I need to think more carefully about this. What I maybe had failed to consider is that I don't necessarily have to... I could do this, right? I could potentially do something with the empty space here to make this guy happy. That's what I might need to do. Can I do that? Still missing something. I still have not made... Okay. Okay, could I do... Is this where I can do this? Oh man, it feels like we are so tantalizingly close. So tantalizingly close. Can we do it? I think we can. But where, like if I add that square there to make that one happy, now I've pissed this guy off, and I haven't satisfied my yellows. Although I could satisfy the yellows like this. But the problem is this guy. So now, man, it feels so... If I do this, what was wrong with this? Now it's connected into a whole nother space here. Shit. Now it doesn't work. That's the problem. just make it work. Yeah, because now this contiguous space flows. Oh, God. Oh, dear Lord. Well, I mean, is that okay? Can I just extend that over here? Is that why they give me all this empty space? So that I can do this? Holy moly. Oh, gosh. Almost, you know, it's when you finally get that puzzle solved, when you finally get there, it's almost as exciting as taking down a difficult Souls boss. Almost. It's not quite in the same neighborhood. Maybe it depends on the boss or the puzzle, but glad to get the win finally on that one. Man, okay. Is this our first panel that has three? No, we don't have 3 rule sets here. I just have horizontal and also diagonal lines. We're still dealing with just flowers and lines. We have 3 different colors of lines. So there's going to be 3 different pairs of shapes. They're forcing this square here. This is probably the place to start because it sort of defines, it starts us here like this. It says we have to do this in order to make this for purple happy, for purple flower, which means then that this would have to happen in order to make a for yellow happy, correct? So those things kind of have to happen. From there, we have some leeway. We have some flexibility on what we want to do. I suspect things would be, I think, impossible if I were to fill in this. If I were to fill in this guy, that would mean that I would be filling in this. And now I have a room, I have a contiguous space. I mean, room makes just as much sense, and it's way shorter to say, so why don't we say room? This blue line is in a room that goes a few squares upward, which doesn't work for this guy. We don't have enough room to put this blue line in the same room, and they cannot be rotated. So I think that also means we have to have the yellow square. Sorry, the 4 yellow flower here is going to be empty, meaning that these petals around it will also be empty. Do we mark those to say that these are forced? We could do that. Which now means that this yellow line here is sort of part of a forced space. Which it kind of makes sense that it should be an empty space. Kind of. I think we want then to say that this, let's see. So we get the ability to flip. We can rotate these. We don't necessarily have to fill these squares here. I'm a little undecided on that, whether those need to be filled or not. What we could do, this, well, we don't know if this is filled in yet or not. We don't know for sure. I suspect, well, again, this could be filled in, couldn't it? No, we run into the same problem that we don't have enough room. I thought we might have enough room to just extend this out a square, but then it also needs to be extended here to make these rooms for the blue match. So we take that away, and we take these away, and we say that I think this has to be, at least those squares have to be empty. Could we do that? And then could we do that? I would also have to do that. Not quite. We need a little bit more work. This. That. Just fill in just the right set of diagonals? No. What did I screw up? Everything was happy. Most things were happy. This one's complaining because I've left open a square here. But then I closed this. Why did everything all of a sudden... Why did that not... Huh? Huh? Excuse me? I don't understand why this all of a sudden made... What am I missing here? I thought I could rotate the yellow lines. I thought having them in this little plus symbol... I mean, I thought that meant that they could be, you know, I could put this one at the bottom, quote unquote, of this plus symbol. And then I'm just rotating it 180 degrees, and then it ends up here on the top for this guy. And we have an empty flower over here. Like, the flower's happy. Oh. The rule that I always seem to forget when it comes to the lines. They have to be in a space that is unique. That's the problem here. I need to give them a unique space. The space has to be unique. So I need to somehow, because I've also got the blue lines inside of a plus. How do I fix that? We said that this was forced here, right? The blue is starting with at least a plus, but we need to somehow extend it, I think. Could we, if I extend it here, that kind of screws this up. It makes these have to be empty, and then I don't have the shape that I need. Yeah, I don't know that that is what I want to do. Man, this was so close to being so clean, nice and neat. Maybe the blue lines have to stay the way they are, and it's the yellow shapes that I need to change around a bit. Like, could I go like this? I think maybe I could do that. Let's go. Let's go. They give you that empty space. Use the space that the board gives you. There's a lot of potentially empty space on this board, so we could end up with some interesting shapes for our, or I guess one particular shape for our 4 lines. So what's forced? The middle square is forced, which means that these are forced. Okay. And then that sort of means that this has to happen. It's always nice. It probably would be a much tougher puzzle if they don't give you just that one constraint to make your life a little less chaotic or limitless. Limiting your options from infinity down to a handful is a very good thing. So this is all forced so far, I think. If this must happen, then that means that this has to happen. It's these 4 purples are kind of dictating the initial stages of our build out here. Now, this would mean, I think, that this has to happen, because I think we determined, if I remember correctly, that the yellow petals, when we're dealing with a boundary, the yellow petals have to be on the board. We could test that out, right? There's training wheels on this. We can always just say, like, if I try to say, oh no, the yellow petal that's filled in is actually just off the board here to the bottom. It doesn't like that. It has to put everything on, all the yellow petals on the board. So this one here, I think, is the way that it's gonna be. This is 1 yellow on this. Well, let's see. this is filled in. Yeah, I think this has to happen, right? Okay. So far, this is what... I think this is all required. And so... I think we have to say that this is required. Now this is a little... Well, we can fix this. We can fix this. Use the empty space that they give you. I feel like that is a shape that works for all of the yellow rooms. And it's still... All our flowers, I think, are still happy. We can even check. Like, we can check in real time. This is a very friendly puzzle in that it does give us the individualized feedback for every... And so now we just fill in the rest of the flowers. It shouldn't be... This shouldn't be... Well, it might be difficult here. This could change. So this is where... Okay. We have to add either here or here, I think, a petal. So we have our 2 yellows on the board. It feels a little better to me to put this... To put it here. But that does mean that we would need to go here and here and here. So far, that all works. Let's see. If I fill that in... Well, I have actually changed my shape is now looking like this, isn't it? This is kind of... It's almost like... This is like the ice crystals as you know, your window is freezing over, the little ice crystals that are slowly building across as time goes on. That's what this feels like. Because as we're building out what must happen, we are slowly reaching out and affecting these other flower petal panels or squares, which means that we're being forced to extend our pattern even a little bit more, which is then forcing more growth. And eventually, I think we'll make this all work, though. I think this one in the bottom should work. This one here and this one here are the only ones that aren't happy so far. We need one more. Let's see. If I go... do I want to fill this in here? I need to put... It makes more sense, I think, to just fill that in so we have the one single filled in for the yellow panel, the yellow petal, and then that means that this happens and then that just makes everything happy? Not quite. So now we have run into an issue with this guy because... Right. So did I want to actually build in... Could I have built in this direction? The problem is here still. This is a... Is it going to be okay if I connect? I think if I end up having to connect things, I think it'll be all right. I think a connection is not the end of the world. I just need to make sure that I'm remembering what exactly I... So if I go like this, that means this happens here. This is still happy. But I have not adjusted this one the right way. Okay, so the only thing that's not happy is this guy, which I cannot make happy by doing this, because then that screws over this petal here, or this flower, right? So we want to instead... Do we just fill in this and this? Which means this and this. And that means this and this, and this and this. Let's fucking go. Okay, I guess that on that panel there, the only thing, again, there's a bit of a flow state that you have to trust. But they gave us some requirements, right? We had a lot of constraints that really forced our progress. But I was noticing at the end there, I was thinking it would be kind of nice. Maybe there is a way to simply undo your last move. Like is Z an undo? Z is zoom. There may be an undo, and I have, oh, okay, I did not realize this. I should be doing this more often, so it's a little bit easier for some of you to view. As well as me, like, just zooming in on the puzzle at hand is a good thing, or can be a helpful thing for the viewing audience. Good thing to remember there, but let's lock that solution back in. Maybe there is a way to undo. I just don't. This is one of those things, if somebody in the comments wants to tell me if there's an undo function or not, feel free to tell me that. I don't want any like clarifications on puzzles and puzzle rules and stuff like that, but telling me whether there's the ability to undo is something I'm okay with. I don't think there is. I could check the menu, but I'm still a little bit wary about, I'm always a little bit wary about checking controls in a pause menu. If it's going to tell you, maybe, I don't know. It's in the game. It's in the game. Just check and see. I'm conflicted on what to do on that. It's just an undo feature. If we don't have one, it's not the end of the world. Where do we want to go? That's the next question here. Oh, right. I think we want to go back into the little minecart section here. It would be nice to complete this as well. So now we switch over to fans and diamonds, which we had been doing previously. Whatever is, whichever way you decide to arrange the, oh, wait a second. Wait, am I... Oh. How? Oh, you would have to do this. You would have to do that. That's how you do that. So then... That should work? Okay, there we go. Was I stuck on this one? I think I was just at the end of one of the sessions, right? When the brain gets tired... Stuff that maybe is simpler at other times becomes an impossible barrier. If I do this, I have to remember, like, I can fill in these diagonals just fine. Filling in the diagonals is not a problem per se. Although I actually want to fill in... Nope, that doesn't work either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, shit. I forgot, right? This is one of the rules. This is one of the rules, is that I don't have to pair diamonds with diamonds per se. They just want to be paired with something that's the same color as them. Nice. 7 diamonds on that board. It would be a little hard to pair them all off with just each other. This one has 6 diamonds, so in this case, we are pairing them off. Let's go ahead and do this and that. And then... interesting. Okay, I can just do that, and then I can do that, and then I can do that. You just gotta be creative with your diagonals. There's a lot of variability and flexibility that it might, you might think at first, oh, I can't actually make this work, except Taiji lets it work. Well, this one is forced, right? There's a couple that are forced. The 4 petaled flowers that force the action here. We love those. We love getting things simplified for us. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diamonds. Now, once again, just because there's an even number of diamonds doesn't mean that they have to be paired with each other. We could very easily do something like this. Something like this. And then something like this. No. Ah, I have connected things here improperly. So this one. What are we pairing this one with? The fact that this one is over here in the corner, well, both of these are in the corner. The way that they're in the corner, it feels like they have to be paired with the flowers that are next to them. Is that true? Because I'm forced to fill in these petals, right? Which means I can't leave this guy in an empty room by himself. So we have to do that, correct? And then once we're doing that, that means these two are in a room, and I guess that means I have to do that. Was that the only problem? Just that one square there? Just that one. Just that one little diagonal that you needed to, like, yeah, because I think this is what I was trying to get at just a moment ago, is that, like, in my mind, it's not like immediately, it doesn't feel intuitively necessarily that these two rooms are cut off from each other, because like there's a very, they can almost reach out and touch each other via this little, you know, if you went diagonally here, or if you allowed diagonal movement at all, but that's not the name of the game. Cardinal directions. Cardinal directions are what matter. It's just that visually, oh, I forgot we can zoom in. We can zoom in. Visually, when your brain, at least when my brain just looks at how the thing is laid out, it might not snap into place right away that works. Okay. Now this is, do we get individualized feedback on this? We do. It's funny that everything works. Okay, this was going to be my question. I hadn't considered this possibility before. How does this symbol here count? Does it count as both a yellow and a purple? I think it may. If that is the case, could I put this, well, I don't need to go that far. They're both, if this is in a room, yeah, this purple and this yellow diamond are both happy. They're just peachy keen because they're matched with a friend. This friend just happens to you know, it's a polyamorous friend. Okay, let's reset this. This is fun. This is a new wrinkle that we can have some fun with. I think probably, well, whatever we decide to do with this yellow 4, we would have to also do with the purple diamond. The purple diamond has to be in this, like, once again, it cannot be in a room by itself down here at the bottom. So that means that whatever happens here, this eventually has to happen with this square, which means that this has to happen, which means that this has to happen. Okay. So then I am guessing that this yellow diamond is not going to be happy with this arrangement, because there's two different, yeah, there's too many, like, it's okay. You know, if you want to be, if you want to be polyamorous, it's okay. It's no big deal. Just not with other yellow symbols. That's, we're not going to dive too deeply into the psychology behind the diamonds and their preferences, But, you know, it is what it is. We work with it. How do we work with it? Does all this have to happen? I might need to re-examine this logic just to be sure. At some point, some way or another... Yeah, this is where I might be getting myself in trouble because I'm not sure I actually can solve the board given what I've done. Could I... Does this, in fact, have to be the case? Because what are we going to do with these yellow... I could make this guy happy like this. That would be fine. Except no, because it is connected to the other... Dang it. Dang it. How do we do this? How do we do this? These need to be in the same place. Or these need to be in the same... Eventually the same area. Could I... What happens if I go around like this? If I go around like that... Oh, was that all? That was my mistake. That was my mistake. I just needed to go around. Let's go. Just go around. Easy. How complicated is this going to be? Okay, so this yellow is happy with this arrangement, which makes this okay, but then these guys are stranded. So that doesn't quite work. Oh, but then, I mean, no, I take it back. This is not how, this is not how this works. That is what needs to happen for the flowers at least, right? The flowers are now happy. So then we can simply just do... I think they are saying, they are telling us that we're going to have to pair off these yellow diamonds in the corners are going to have to go with a flower. Is that possible? If I go like this, maybe that was my problem, is to go, I needed to go like this. Well, no, not quite. Yeah, this is tricky. I can go like that. Is that the smart move? Is that the smart big brain move? No. But that is? No. Because now this guy's not quite happy. Am I getting very convoluted here? I'm getting a little convoluted. But I don't think very convoluted. We were pretty close. Just, man. This game is so good. I think they're telling us here. They're telling us here that this purple diamond needs to be paired with this symbol down here. So that means we could do that just to get the diamond paired off. And then we could do this. Now we are going to run into an issue eventually. Yeah. Because then who are we pairing off this yellow diamond with? The 4 yellow flowers are forcing what? What do they force? What do they force? The presence of the 4 purple, the purple 4, does mean that one way or the other, this, I mean, this is going to have to happen, or it's just going to be reverse of this. And if this happens, In order to pair off the purple diamond, this has to be filled in. Now, we theoretically do have some flexibility here, and this is probably the solution. The solution is probably this. There it is. Use the empty space. Make sure of what is forced and what is not. We had more flexibility with the single yellow than I initially thought. The different colored diamonds can share a room if needed. So right now, the black and white diamonds are perfectly fine. It's everything else that needs a fix. And we are not allowed to directly pair the yellow and magenta diamonds with each other. So they have to go with one of the flowers. So one of these is going to be filled in and one's going to be empty, correct? I don't know if it matters which one. Because one way or the other, you're going to have to build the board in a similar fashion, I think. So, to connect this one here. If this is empty, that means you need one yellow to be empty. You could go like this. Wait, why is that? Oh, because I need a single. Now this is disconnected, but... Oh, shit. So I need to... This is where I'm going to have to build around. Am I not? Or... I think I'm going to have to build around. Which is maybe okay. Because if we build around... The only thing that might get screwed up... No, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Hold on here. Let's just say for a moment that we're including... That we're just doing this. We're doing one big old... around the world. If that's the case, I just need to make sure that the yellow and purple diamonds are still able to reach this guy. So it's empty, and it would need... But it doesn't have to... I don't think I have to circumnavigate. I think I can go like that. I think I can go like that. There we go. Hey, we got this door open. We have opened up another shortcut. Okay. Were there any other puzzles that I wanted to revisit? Maybe we'll give one more look. It's been a while now. But maybe we'll give one more look at this puzzle that was over in the ruins. Which felt like we should have been able to figure it out. But there was something obvious. Or, well, maybe not obvious, but there was something that I was missing. I, last time, was noticing this pillar out in the water. And thought that it should obviously, seemingly obviously, correspond in some way to this pillar. I wasn't quite able to make sense of... Let's go ahead and reset this. I wasn't quite able to make sense of the fact that... So we've got the blue panel that does appear to be broken partway. They've got the blue panel on this pillar, and also the I guess the marble portion of the pillar behind the blue screen is also broken off. How exactly does that correspond to to this panel over here. There's no blue screen on this one. I mean, it feels like it goes, you have the one ridge here, and then the 2 ridges here, and the 3 ridges here. But maybe I need to, this may be where I need to completely refresh my memory on exactly how these panels... Oh, right. Okay, so they were actually supposed to be opposites of each other. The whole idea... Is that where I was screwing up? Is that I was forgetting the fact that they're supposed to be equal but opposite? The corresponding panels... I feel like I did try that, though. How would that work? How would that work if there were equal but opposite in this case? Because the opposite doesn't... The thing that's throwing me off here is that whenever the sets of panels always were... Like if you had the portions that were jutting out... Oh, that's right. We did get to this point where you had 2 rows, or 2 columns, I should say. But whenever you had a section that was jutting out on one side, you would have it, you know, it would be the opposite side, and it would be inverted. But that was with 2 columns. We don't have 2 columns in this other puzzle's case. We just have 1 column. So in the case of a single column, the ridges on the sides of the panel are the same, but then they should be opposite on the other panel, right? I think that's what is throwing me off here. Because it doesn't look like we've got an opposite situation. It just looks like we've got 1, 2, 3. And then over here, we also have 1, 2, and then I would presume 3, but I think I've tried that. I feel like I've tried that in... That would definitely have been one of the things that I would have tried, and I think I would have also tried the inverse case, right? Those feel like maybe the 2 obvious solutions. Is this a situation where things are somehow, I don't know, upside down on one panel? What's the realization that I am missing here? Why is the marble broken off? Is it because they used to be part of the same panel? Is that what I'm seeing? Maybe that's the realization, is that they were just part of one panel. And so this what I'm seeing on the left-hand side is actually supposed to have now I'm just sort of guessing. Now I'm guessing. Because even if did I speculate that? I feel like I might have speculated that this was part of this pillar over here. And it's almost like the fact that there's no screen, there's no blue screen on this pillar, means that somebody just kind of like ripped off half of the pillar and just plopped it down over here. It's kind of what it feels like. If that's the case, what does that mean? Like, how does that help me? Does it mean that there's actually no... Is there actually no gap here? Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel like I understand what I'm doing here. Feels very lost. and guessing, right? I'm shooting, I'm taking these wild stabs that are not landing. And so I still don't know what I'm missing here. Is there something else around the ruins that I need to notice? Some detail that I haven't seen? I guess we haven't opened up the door over on this far side. maybe we'll try to end on a W. It would feel nice to end on a W. So maybe we'll run all the way around. We'll the ruins. We'll have to revisit the ruins once again. I'll maybe mull that one over in my spare time. But let's try to get back around, back up here to our XOR puzzles. Exclusive ore, snowy Christmas tree land. And... oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a moment. No, but I solved that one. No, I solved this one. This is solved. I do not remember solving this. I do not remember this being here. How did I solve this? There's only one panel here. Okay, I think it might be time for me to go back and watch my previous footage, because I honestly would not have been able to tell you that this panel existed up here. I have no memory of solving this. Wow. I guess, what logic did I use to solve this? Did I do the exclusive OR? That's not an exclusive OR back... no, the other panel, it's like matching on both sides. This one has differences. The left and right side are... they don't line up with each other whatsoever, but it does appear as though I used exclusive OR logic to solve this. Which kind of like goes with the theme of what was happening in this area. But it's just strange that it was done with a ruins type puzzle panel. Okay, well. I do remember this one being a diamonds panel, which felt like it should be, I don't know, somewhat straightforward. Famous last words. Famous last words to just say something is going to be straightforward in a puzzle game. Famous last words. How are we arranging these yellow diamonds on the left-hand side? How this 2x2 here that we have to, like this one in the corner, we could build out from this one if we were to say that this one is, whatever this one is, its neighbors have to be opposite, correct? Has to be either this or this. And based on, well, the fact that the board is laid out like this, it's not a completely symmetrical board. You have this, there's a uneven, the blue diamonds, there's 3 of them up here and only 1 down here. So it's not clear to me yet whether that means I need to put these 2 together or these 2 together. Let's go with this for now. If this one is empty, that once again means that these 2 have to be opposite of each other, which means I think we would have to do that. But now I think I might be in an impossible situation because of the way that this... Since these two are together... No, I could do this, right? Just use our diagonals cleverly. Cleverly? That's a word. Cleverly use my diagonals as I should be trying to do all along. Okay. If I do this, that means this yellow here has to be paired with this guy. And it means that this one would have to be filled in. And if I do that, it kind of means I have to pair this with this. But now I think I'm in an impossible... It feels like I'm in an impossible situation because I'm either going to be... I think ultimately I'm going to be either blocking off or separating these two blue diamonds, or I would be forced to go like this, in which case now I have 3 yellows. I think that might mean that I'm actually required to start like this, which means then these 2 yellow diamonds have to be in an empty space, and this one here would have to be paired with that guy, right? So now that means this one has to be filled. And therefore we go like that. Yes? Yes! And that is where we will wrap up this installment of Taiji. We have posted a W to finish off our day. I'm really excited that... I'm a little bummed that we did not get the solve here. This one is... I don't quite get it. What's going on with that one? But I am excited that we are down to one last bonfire before we have a full set, and then we will have a... I don't know what's going to happen then. We will have a nice sense of accomplishment, but I'm interested to see what is going to happen when we actually get to revisiting the art gallery / museum, whatever this place is called. I did enjoy the Plateaus. It was a bit short, but it also kind of stretched my brain in a way that I'm not totally used to. And that's what's ultimately what you're looking for in a puzzle game. Looking for that challenge and the unconventional thinking that pushes you in a new direction. But I'm looking forward to getting to the art gallery, which we will do next time. We'll try to complete that full set of bonfires and then see what happens with the puzzles at the start of the game. Will something activate there? Will we be able to eventually, will we be able to open up a doorway into a new section of the island, quote unquote? Tune in next time to find out. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.